Let's get spooky. This is our Station Boo, where we explore the dark and mysterious corners of the world of horror, and we know that you are dying to listen.
And welcome to the Spooky and Kooky podcast of Earth Station Boo, where we talk all things horror. Introducing our haunted hosts, we have our lovely Lisa.
Hello, groovy ghoulies.
We have our kick butt Karen.
What up, my horrorholics?
And I, your spooky Shannon, am here to talk to y'all about all the fun things that are happening in the movie Thanksgiving, because it is that time of year. Let's get spooky.
Hey horrorholics, it's Shannon. Earth Station Boo has just launched its brand new merch store. It's time to get your hands on some killer gear. From our fun logo shirts, cozy hoodies, Let's Get Spooky stickers, and Horrorholics Anonymous totes, there's something for every one of our lovely little ghouls. We offer our spooky designs on many different types of products to fit your desires. But if you happen to see a missed opportunity, just let us know. And unlike most of Stephen King's adaptations, you know what I'm talking about, you won't be disappointed with the quality of the products. Head over to our link tree in our bio, grab your merch, show off your favorite horror podcast, and most of all, let's get spooky.
Alrighty. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. This is our Thanksgiving episode, and what better way to celebrate it than with the movie Thanksgiving. This one is directed and written by Eli Roth. Jeff Rendell also helped with the writing of this film, and so we're gonna be chit-chatting about it. So let's go ahead and start off with our initial thoughts. Lisa, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Yeah, I just watched it for the first time the other night, and honestly, to tell you, it was a fun movie. I liked the flow of it. I sat with a bunch of my friends who were watching it. It was not what I expected. It was actually better than what I expected. So good concept too. Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Karen, how about you?
I actually enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. I went in there with low expectations. Because I'm like, you have McDreamy in this movie? Okay. And then, I was like, this is actually a good movie. I could watch this again, So that's on my, Thanksgiving horror movie list, so.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I wasn't expecting an award-winning, out-of-this-world horror film, but it's definitely a movie I'm willing to watch over and over again. This is a movie I'm more than happy to pop on, while I'm baking for Thanksgiving.
Doing something for Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
definitely.
But is it the best movie? No.
No.
Do not think that this is going to be like one of the best horror movies you've ever seen. No. Please understand that it's not. However, it is enjoyable. It's got its moments, and we'll get into all of that. However, this movie originally started off as a trailer that was shown as it's a faux trailer that was shown between the double feature of Planet Terror and Death Proof from Grindhouse, which we all love those movies. Again, are they the best movies ever? No. But are they great to watch? Yes. They did take some twists and turns. It's not the exact same plot as the trailer. There were some changes made to it, but it was still good. And so, with that being the case, what did we think about the nod to the trailer, as well as all the other little nods to other films that were made? I know personally, one of the first scenes reminded me of My Bloody Valentine.
It was, I enjoyed the nods, because it makes you want to go back to watch those movies again.
Yeah.
So good job, Eli. Eli, good job.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I liked all the little nods in the movies. Now I'm gonna have to rewatch it to see which nods I recognize a little bit more,
Mm.
and then find those movies and watch them.
Yeah, there was quite a few where I'm like, I've seen that shot before,
Mm-hmm.
or this scene feels familiar. There's a lot of deja vu with it with the movie, even like from the opening massacre, which reminds me of Black Friday, which stay tuned for next week. but definitely had some Black Friday vibes there at the very beginning with like, a massacre craziness happening there at the beginning.
Because
Um,
it reminds you of what happens like back in the day when there was like no control and people were getting
yeah.
trampled and pushed aside and
Hmm.
elbowed in the face. I was like,
Which
damn.
if what you guys want to hear about our personal experiences with Black Friday, again, stay tuned next week.
Yes.
Hear our episode on the movie Black Friday. Uh, but yeah, there was just a lot of deja vu for me in this film where I'm like, oh, I feel like I've seen this before. But at the same time, it wasn't like a bad, oh, I've seen this before, if that
Right.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and let's talk about your boy McDreamy, because we got to talk about his acting. Lisa, do you want to start? Or Karen, do you want to go? I know we just broke your heart a little bit.
It could have been better. I mean,
Could have been,
he had
should have been.
he had his accent kept going in and out. I was like,
Yeah.
why is your
Yeah,
accent going? What's going on here? Why isn't it consistent?
yeah. His accent
It-
was,
Oh my God.
I cringed. I cringed. I was like, I was like, is that how they really sound? No, and I had to go look it up, and I was like, no,
Mhm.
no.
I don't even
But
know
he
what
kept.
accent he was trying to do because it
I
kept
don't either.
changing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. It was. I mean, the whole yeah, it kept changing. I was like, are you doing a Bostonian accent? Or what's going on here? Some sort of northern
Yeah.
New York accent.
It
Exactly.
as a
And then at one
southerner,
point
it was
he
definitely a
dropped.
northern accent.
At one point
But
the accent dropped. I was like, what?
yeah. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was no accent for like a good hot minute where you're like,
Wait a minute.
aren't you supposed to have an accent right now? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he was no.
No.
Lisa, continue.
Uh, I was a little disappointed. A lot of disappointed, I have to say. As long as he's been acting, I thought we would have something a little bit better. And yeah, the accent thing drove me crazy. I mean, it really did.
Mhm.
I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like right. I mean, I have friends from Boston, and I'm like, in Massachusetts, and they don't sound like that.
Like
And
he
they
didn't even
talk,
sound like he was from Delaware. Like,
yeah, they talk way faster.
mm, yeah,
So it's
there
like,
was just, I
I don't
don't know.
know. The accent was the one thing that really bothered me the most because he kept
Mhm.
dropping it and changing it. And we're like, what state are we in?
Yeah.
But and yeah, his acting could have been way better, but it was, hey,
I mean, like for someone who's been like acting for decades, some of the kids acting were better than his. I would say young
mm,
adults because they're like in their
Yeah.
20s. I was like,
yeah,
damn, what's going
Yeah.
on here?
No, I mean, there was
exactly.
one of his first scenes he was in. I was like, is this acting 101? Why are you talking like that? Why are you acting like that? Sir,
Exactly.
like, WTF? What are you doing? I do not understand this. Because it was very like, I don't all I know is as soon as like he did this one thing. As soon as he did it, I was just like, the fuck? McDreamy, no. oh, what are you?
You
And I
better than
completely
this.
lost whatever else was happening in that scene because I was like, you're acting so bad.
Yeah.
So, so bad. Like the
I
fact that I can't
know.
even tell you what he said in that scene, but all I can say is my 5-year-old niece could act that scene out better than he could. Like I was just like, what are you doing, dude? Like, and then then at that point, I also have to be like, what the hell, Eli? Why do you think that that was okay? Why did you put that in the film? Why did you think
Exactly.
that was the take? Because you know they had to
I think it
redone
was
that
on
take.
purpose, really, because it's kind of remnant of some of the older films where you have that wooden acting, but the movie tends to be good anyways. You tend to overlook some
Yeah,
things.
but that's if like that's how the entire movie is. This is not how the entire movie is.
Movie is, yeah, it's true.
And it wasn't the like, hey sir, I'm here for whatever thing at the beginning with Ty. No, like I'm talking about like another scene where I'm just like, my dude, the fuck? Like, come on. But I will agree with you, Karen. The kids in the movie, because I think they're seniors for the
Yeah, they're
majority of
Yeah.
seniors
the
in high
film.
school.
Um,
Hmm.
they start off as juniors and then they're seniors for the majority of the film. They actually did a decent job. Like a few of them were like a little, but at the same time, you could be like, yeah, they're a teenager. That's how they would act. Like, and not like
Yeah,
act as in like act, but like act as in real life, a teenager would be this ridiculous, you
Yes.
know?
yeah, because you have what the guy who played. See, there's Bobby. I knew a
Yeah.
guy like Bobby who was,
Mm-hmm.
he always wanted to help people. When he tried to go help that security guard, I knew that. I was like, I know a
Yeah.
guy like you. And then you have that, jock Scuba, who
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
cool guy. He's the guy who like, kind of weaves in and out of, different
Mm-hmm.
cliques. So I was really impressed with his acting.
Evan was like the stereotypical frat boy, gym
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, he was the gym bro because we all have a gym bro. And I was like, he did a
Yeah.
good job at that because he's like, oh, this is gonna go gold, man. Because you always have that
Mm-hmm.
one kid that has his phone out.
Yeah. He was a total preppy frat boy.
Yeah.
Stereotype. Like you find this character in every film, every TV show that has a high school bully. Boom, it's this
There you
kid.
Yeah.
go.
It's this kid.
And then
Yeah.
the kid who played Ryan, Milo, his mom
Mhm.
is actually a very well-known actress.
She
Um,
is.
yeah, Cameron, I believe her name is.
Hmm.
So he started off young, so I knew what I was, getting into because I've seen him act. My niece's favorite show is Zombies on Disney, the
Yeah.
musical thing, that pastel zombie. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of
Hmm.
pastels. Zombies aren't supposed to be in pastel, but okay, let's go with it. But he was good. I liked his smart guy, cocky. Yeah, I take Adderall because that's what you do when you want to, achieve things in life.
Yeah.
Because I knew several
Yeah.
people like that who
Hmm.
who needed to take something to keep going to achieve in life. Um, and then there's like, Jessica. Jessica was kind of, the girl who played Jessica. She was good. She hit all the right emotions that needed to be hit.
Yeah.
Um, her friend Yulia,
Amy. Oh, Julia.
um,
Yeah.
it could have been better. I mean,
Yeah.
she wasn't that as prominent, you know,
I will say this.
but
I didn't feel like the girls were as featured as the boys were.
no,
Yeah.
they weren't. I mean, it was like more of Jessica and the two main dudes who are fighting for
Hmm.
affection. And then you have Scuba who's protecting his girlfriend because that's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's his ride or die. I loved how he like, in the beginning, he like just like pushed people away and just jumped on
Yeah.
top of her, like just protecting her. I
Yeah.
was like, that's a keeper right there. But yeah, like the girls didn't really much have anything.
He showed to be a good dude through and through. I'm glad that he made it. And
Yeah.
he was black.
Me
Too.
too. I was like, he black and he made it. But yeah,
Yeah.
he told Jessica to run. I got this.
Hmm.
And he tried to
Yeah,
protect everybody. I'm like,
he did. And honestly, that's commendable. Like, honestly, I do enjoy seeing the characters who do that, who
Yeah.
in a horror film are like, no, we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna work this. We're gonna do this, and like actually show to have character.
Right.
yeah. I mean, he most of all had like the most character for me because I was like,
Hmm.
I could see myself hanging with this dude because he rides or die with his friends. And he was like, you know what? We're gonna go to McCarty. We're gonna get a gun, okay? Because we're not gonna sit here and be sitting ducks. All
Yeah,
right? You know how to shoot a gun? Okay, you do. Let's do it.
yeah,
And McCarty, he was kind of smart. Like here,
yeah.
take my father's ring. You know, it will
Hmm.
protect you. It's lucky.
Exactly.
Yep.
Even though he was kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah.
But we
But
all have a McCarty. We all have a McCarty in there somewhere.
yes,
Yes.
unfortunately, I do. I have like four.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Of
all
course, if
do.
anything were to pop off, I could go to one of them, like, hey, chilling with you, man. And he'd be
Yeah.
like, okay. They'll be like, okay.
But yeah, overall, I think the acting was fairly good. Other than McDreamy, honestly, he was probably the worst out of the bunch, and I think everybody else was pretty
Pretty good.
okay. Or
Yeah.
like it's like a standard like B film or B-rated horror film acting, which
Mm-hmm.
anytime I see a horror film, that's kind of what I expect, unless it's like somebody going, no, this is supposed to be a critically acclaimed level.
Right.
If they don't call it that, I'm expecting B grade. Like, I'm cool with
Same.
that. I will say this. I I really hope there was more scenes with Mitch Collins in it, who was played by Ty Olson. Um, Anybody who's a Supernatural fan, he played Benny in Supernatural, the vampire from Purgatory that came out with Dean. But he was a fantastic actor in this. Like I thought he did great, and I would have loved to have actually seen a little bit more of him in his
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
interactions.
I was kind of upset that I didn't see because if you're gonna make it portray that there is a killer, you want to get him more,
Yeah.
involved.
Well,
Um,
the
Right.
thing for me is like he had all the ties to be in this
Right.
film so much more. He
yeah.
was an employee of the store that had the massacre.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his wife in the massacre.
Mm-hmm.
His
Yep.
wife, who was having an affair with McDreamy,
But he didn't
Yeah.
know that.
he didn't know
No.
that, but McDreamy did,
Yeah.
Yep.
and so there was a connection there that could have been happening. She was pregnant.
We,
Like
yeah.
that's a whole thing. Like I'm really hoping that there was like a bunch of deleted scenes and it was mostly his stuff
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like that was a really cool storyline that they could have added that could have even been kind of part of that like bait and switch.
Oh yeah.
Could he be the one who's behind it all? Could he be working with somebody? Like there's a lot that could have been happening with that, and there was just small snippets of
Like
him
they could have
and
like he could have came into that whole little John Carver festival that they had, just yelling at them.
he did.
Um,
They were he was part of the riot that
yeah.
stopped
No, I'm
the
talking about when they were in that little scene that they were going to do that commercial for the family.
oh
Um,
yeah. Well,
yeah, he could have been there.
they thought he was the one who destroyed it.
Yeah, but
Yep.
still, he could have like been there and just yelling at them, and he could have
Yeah,
got arrested, but proved like he didn't do it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
Right.
why is he loose? Oh, the forensics said he didn't do it,
yeah. But
and
like
he's just
outside
the wrong
of
place at the wrong time.
what happened in the very beginning, and then him being in like the news all the time saying, hey, they need to close on Thanksgiving. My wife is dead because of him, and da 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 da. And then his little stint right there with like people interrupting the parade by like picketing and rioting. That was kind of like about it. I'm sitting here going, why even have that storyline if you're not going to use it?
Right?
Right.
Like, I thought they should have used it. No.
I mean, I would have him like everywhere, like just
Yeah,
watching the family,
I would
stalking the
have had him causing
family,
so much trouble.
like
So much
so much
trouble.
trouble. And then you realize, oh, that wasn't him. He was just making no psychological warfare.
Hmm. Yeah. Or even have it where
think it's him.
McDreamy puts him away to be or frames him to be the killer. I mean, come on, that would be like the perfect scapegoat.
Not the kid. Yeah, he like tried to blame Bobby. I'm like,
No.
Yeah.
he
Well, I think he
didn't.
wanted to blame Bobby because Bobby was there, and Bobby
Yeah,
didn't need to be there because that
that's true.
was the whole thing. I will say this: I understand where he kind of came from with who he went after. It was all people who voluntarily were there,
They shouldn't have
who
been there.
that shouldn't have been there, who kind of incited everything. So
Right.
I get it. I get it. Um, but like, why not use somebody that is causing trouble already as like, the smoke and mirror,
Yeah.
you know?
Like, yeah, I understood why he used Bobby, but at the same token, I would have used like Mitch,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ty's character. I would have used Mitch.
I would
Because
have
they're
used.
almost the same frame in height. Unfortunately, they didn't have the
Yeah.
same body build.
No.
Mitch was a little thicker.
Yeah.
A little thicker. But I mean, who's to say that he wasn't like, you make him out to be like the mastermind,
Yeah.
and then he has like a goon helping him out, and he could have Bobby be the goon,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Because, Bobby lost his ability to throw a ball. I
Which
mean, he
let's
didn't
talk
want to.
about that special effects because that was horrendous. What his hand
Oh,
looked like, getting
No.
trampled on,
I don't think a bone is supposed to break like that.
and that's not how it would happen. That's my thing. That's not how it would happen. I will give them props. They used real fake blood.
Yes.
However, that's about it. That is
Yeah,
about it. Special
that
effects wise, nah.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so first off, we have, the security guard being trampled. That was impressive. Okay.
Yes, that was.
Because I don't know if I could like lay there and have people walking over me or running over me like
Yeah.
that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive. That whole scene, that whole
Hmm.
Yeah.
action scene with him, slowly dying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I imagine,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you're
That
being
one,
trampled.
I think that was the one scene that I would say was perfect and spot on.
Yeah. And then you have the next scene where the dude comes in and, gets his throat slashed. Number one, if
Yeah.
you're getting your throat slashed and you're spraying everywhere, you should be dead.
Yeah. You
You,
should.
you're not running
You,
around trying to get a free waffle maker.
you
I
should
know
be
you're
dead.
not. You should be dead. I
He gets a
agree.
waffle maker and then he dies right there. No,
No,
Yeah.
he should
you're
stand right.
spraying. You should be like walking 2, 3 steps and then pass out.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I mean, I could see him based on adrenaline making it to the pallet.
but not grabbing
But
at something.
not grabbing, not wrestling, not
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
pushing and shoving people. No.
And
No.
then the
And
special effects for Bobby, because it went to like Bobby getting
yeah,
his arm. Um,
it,
yeah.
Yeah. It was kind
there
of
was like 6 zigzags that should not have happened.
exactly.
Because he only got his arm stepped on once, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he only got it stepped on once. And
Yeah.
it was
It was like,
his hand was facing down.
yeah.
because he was going to grab the hand of the security guard, and then somebody stepped on his wrist, and somehow it made it a Z.
Yeah. Which I don't know
No,
how.
no. Like
No,
I can understand his wrist getting crushed. I could understand his forearm getting broken by that.
right.
Totally understandable. Hell, I could even see his phalanges getting messed up a little bit. However, however, his arm would not have gone into the shape of a Z and then just been flip-flopping all over the place.
This is not Harry Potter.
And he would not have been flip-flopping his arm all over the place. It would have been a straight pull to you and probably holding to you and securing it, not a
At
waving it
best,
all about.
if it did break, it would be a V if you saw the break.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like holding it, trying to like, stop the blood. But yeah, because
It
looking at
probably be a compound fracture too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bone stick.
Yeah, it just no. That's not how it would have happened. Now, I did think the carts crushing the skull, that was okay. We're gonna go ahead and just talk about all the different kills. Well, let's rank the kills. First kill, trampled security guard. How many skulls do we want to give that?
That was a 5. That was spot on.
5. Spot on.
I say 5 too. All right. The Boston fan with a slit throat.
That was a 3 because, like I said, if you're doing arterial spray,
yeah, you're definitely not going to be walking more than 2 steps. I mean,
yeah, I would say 3.
3 here too.
Okay. Then we got Amanda. So, that would be the woman who's having the affair with McDreamy, and she was married to Mitch. She was actually there because she was bringing Mitch his turkey dinner.
So nice of her.
Right?
Yes.
Because he had to be there. He got forced to work because somebody had called out. And then she got her head crunched after she got pushed down by 2 carts. And then one of the carts, its wheel got hooked on her hair and it scalped her.
Yep.
How do we feel about that kill?
Number one, I don't think 2 carts are that strong enough. I got hit by a cart several times, full force at that. But not enough to where it would hurt me or break a bone. Yes, because I work in retail, Black Friday stuff happens, I get crushed. For me.
But also, if you're standing, you're usually getting crushed by like the carriage portion, not the thing that like as a child you would always stand on where you're going around the sharpened part.
Yeah.
And that's what hit her, was that bottom thicker handle metal. That's what crushed her skull, and it was 2 of them coming together.
I can see it damaging her skull, but not crushing the skull.
Yeah, not crushing the skull. I agree. But the scalping, that was beautiful.
That would happen.
Yeah, that would happen.
That would definitely happen.
Probably not to that extent, but
no.
I don't know. When you get your hair or something twisted, I mean, it doesn't take that much pressure.
But it was that small. It was a small piece of hair. Like it would have been like just
like a little
pop. It wouldn't have been a massive section like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, effects wise, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, as something that seeing that little, popping, because that was like a little piece of hair.
Yeah, it was not even a pinky's worth of hair.
Yeah, it would be pop, but not a scalp.
Yeah, not a full scalp. Mm-hmm. And then granted, it wasn't a full scalp, but it was a good chunk. Like it wasn't. It was about palm size.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would give it a 3.75.
I give it a little bit of a 4 because I like the way that the scalping looked, even though it wasn't possible to
Yeah.
scalp that much. It was still gorgeous,
It was
special.
it was a good scalping.
It was.
Yeah.
That's not a sentence I ever thought I would say. Thinking about it. Okay, so then we get to Lizzie, the waitress, who
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, as a former retail worker, she was a bitch at that store. There was a part of me was like, I'm glad you're getting what you're getting because you deserve some retail karma.
but the thing is, I'm like, you work in service. Why are you being a
Right?
bitch?
Exactly. Like
You're a
that.
waitress.
Yeah.
To me, that says that the people who wrote it have never worked customer service, therefore don't really understand. You wouldn't cross those lines, even on
Right.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
But she was the first kill of the Carver.
When he dunked her head in the water and pushed her against the freezer. Oh my God.
Oh, I
Okay,
know, right?
yeah, she got tortured before she ended up meeting her demise, which I was kind of cool with a lot of the stuff that homeboy was doing. He was they were they were some cool kills. Like she
Yes.
could have easily died in any of those situations and I would have been okay with it. Like there was a one part of me who was going, ooh, is he gonna do a fryer? Did he
Yeah,
flip
me
on the
too.
fryer at some point and is he gonna dunk her in the fryer? But that never happened because she died by getting cut in half by a dumpster.
Yep, which is impossible.
So, Lisa, what's your
Yeah.
take on that?
Okay, first of all, the dunking in the water and putting her against the freezer, I was cringing. That was like so cool. That was, it pained me just to see it. But
Mm-hmm.
then when she got cut in half by a dumpster, I'm like, yeah, no, no. Plus, she probably would have been in shock from peeling half her skin off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she shouldn't have been running around. She probably would have gone into shock, especially at the temperature it was.
Oh, yeah.
And then she
Yeah,
had to rip her
yeah, yeah.
flesh.
She had. That's why she should have gone into shock right after that. And the way it was on the thing, she should have peeled off a lot more than she did.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Whole side of her face on it and her
And
hands.
and he held her there. It
Yeah,
wasn't like
so
she was just like a quick tap. It was
no, he held
held.
her.
Boom.
The half
Okay,
of her,
you're stuck. Now I'm walking away.
Like your half of your hand should have been gone. Half of
yeah,
your
Mm-hmm.
face should have been gone.
gone. Not the little pieces.
Not little pieces.
But I did like when she was trying to text. I was kind of laughing. I'm like,
Yeah.
You're
Yep.
like, I have no fingerprints. It doesn't recognize my face. I mean,
I mean, I know you're trying to call 911, but
yeah.
I mean,
And
overall, her torture and kill. Okay, the
Yeah.
torture part, the whole skin and being
Yeah.
frozen, that
mm-hmm.
was beautiful because I would not think of putting somebody in water and then putting them against a freezer, a
I
walk-in
know.
freezer at that. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
my
Which is
thought would have been fryer.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I had to give that one a 4 because of the fact that
Oh, yeah.
not enough chunks came off.
Yeah.
Um,
I would give that one a 4, possibly even less, because her getting cut in half by the dumpster is not realistic.
yeah, that one was like a 2.
Yeah.
So 4 for the torture,
Oh, yeah.
2 for the cut in half.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 stars for the torture. Yeah.
So then we have Manny. Manny is one of the security guards. He was the one who ran away. It all started happening. He's like, "Peace out, Cub Scouts. I don't get paid enough to handle this, even though technically that is my job." But no.
But at the
Um,
same time, you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
do I want to get crushed by this crowd?
That's why he hightailed it. He was like, "Fuck this! I'm not. No,
And I'm surprised they only had 2 security guards. I'm
I
like,
know, right?
Yeah.
For that big of a store, there should have been a whole lot more."
yeah,
They should.
shame on that family.
Yeah. Which I'm not gonna lie, I really am upset that homeboy didn't die. The father.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, right. Me too.
Anyways, but Manny, he got stabbed with an electric carving knife
Yes.
and then decapitated.
Right.
But I will say this, I love the fact that Carver, aka McDreamy, did feed and scratch the cat before he left.
Me too. Me
I was like,
too.
you're an animal person.
It's like
Yay.
it's like, oh, he's not completely heartless.
Mhm. He's gonna feed the cat and then walk away.
Oh, it's funny.
But could you
I
imagine
mean,
the person that was supposed to like come by and take care of the cat just walk in like, oh my god, a dead body.
yeah, right?
I know. And
But
how
then
do we
to
know?
notice that the cat was taken care of.
Like, um, mm.
Please tell me the cat got taken care of before this happened.
Yes.
That one, I think that's a kind of a middle of the road one. I would
Yeah.
give it a 3.
I don't know. Can a carving knife actually cut into a person?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
oh yeah.
Okay,
They're
then
carving accidents all the time.
Yep.
okay, so yeah, I mean, it wasn't spectacular. It was just it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it- yeah, his death was kind of quick because he didn't do that much damage to like Lizzie did.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, because she was one of the ones who actually crushed Amanda's head
Hmm.
Yeah.
and scalped her,
Yep.
And she
and
was the one
she was
that,
the first one to run over Doug.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
But at the same time, she was being crushed against like the whole
She
door.
was
Yeah.
being crushed.
And so you're like, oh God. I
That
was
was
like,
just
I would let him crush like open the door. No. No, do you not know what will happen if I open the door? I would get trampled. That's mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so I would give him a Manny gets a
3.
he gets a he gets a solid 3.
yep.
Lonnie. He gets his neck twisted off. Or
Okay,
neck
you won.
twisted.
Your neck doesn't twist like that. Not
No,
that.
it doesn't.
But no, it does not.
But he deserved it.
He did. He did. Homeboy he was a jerk the entire time. Anyways, starting off with his beef with the other kids, the other
Right.
team.
I mean, it's football.
And he was the one who incited the bum rush to the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stealing the blowhorn, telling people they're open. They didn't let us in. Yeah. You know, nobody would have died had he just not been an asshole.
I was like, what are you doing shopping on Thanksgiving? Go home. Why are your
On
parents letting you out?
I hate anybody who goes out on Thanksgiving Day to go shopping. First
Me
of
too.
all, sales are not that great.
Nope.
Just not. Second of all, did you really need to miss out on time with family and friends?
No.
And for most people, it's the only day off they get during the year. Did you really need to take full advantage of that? And then cause people who work at the stores to have to take the day off, to cause police officers and other special emergency need individuals, first responders to have to go and work that day because you couldn't keep your butt at home. Nah.
Right.
Lonnie.
I hope each and every single one of y'all, your pillow is never the correct temperature. Just saying. Just saying. Hope it's never the correct temperature. But yeah, so Mr. Lonnie, he got his neck twisted. Again, kind of a 3 for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't realistic. It wasn't that unique. I'm
No.
glad he got his demise, but
Yeah. It was meh.
meh.
It was like a 2 for me because you know how much pressure and strength you have to actually twist somebody's head off like that?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
McDreamy don't have that much strength.
Nope.
Not with
Not
that
if he did
acting.
No. If he did a quick snap of the neck, I've been fine with it. And he slumped over. Okay, quick snap of the neck. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because that's more realistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I give it a 2.
Yeah, I guess a 2 is better. We can say 2 on him. Then we have Yulana. Now, this one was in the trailer. I actually kind of like this one because, again, it kind of has that Final Destination-esque feel to it.
And it happens.
But
on accident.
Homegirl got the corn on the cob holders shoved in her ears, which just does make me want to go, because that just tickles. But then she gets held hostage for a hot minute to then be thrown onto a table saw. Or they call it a buzz saw, but it's a table saw. That's not how it would have actually happened in real life if she had fallen on it. However, it was cool looking. Cool, they did a good job making it look cool.
Because like most table saws has like a cover on them now.
Yep.
To where you can't get injured.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Your daddy has all this equipment out for you people to get injured?
But you know what? To be perfectly honest, you can take that cover off real easy.
Yeah, you can.
But the homegirl, like the way that she fell and the way that it was going, she would have been flung one way or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, the other.
Would have been pushed.
She wouldn't have just stayed on it and just.
Yeah.
She would have flown. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, when you push wood that you're going through, it's going to go take it straight down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, that's not how it would have happened. But that was a cool kill. Like,
it was.
Yeah.
It was cool looking.
I will say the ear thing really drove. Oh, that got me. First, when she was putting the Q-tips in her ear, and I'm like, no. And, I thought he was going to shove the Q-tips in her ear. Like,
I mean, either way, it would still been kind of a cool.
Yeah. But it definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies when I saw it coming. I was like, oh. But the table saw.
It kind of reminds me of like, Uzumaki, that scene where the mother goes crazy and she realizes that there's a spiral in your ear to help regulate your hearing and your balance, and then she like just went ahead and popped through her ear and stuff like that. I was like, ooh, it's homage to Uzumaki. For me, it was, anyways.
Yeah. Well, I can see that. Yeah, no, that one. That one's a good one. I will give it a 4 only because the table saw wasn't realistic, but I thought it was good. I think the amount of blood was pretty good. I liked how you could see her intestines afterwards. Like,
it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that really got me, like, gave me that that cringe was the ear.
Yeah.
Because that's.
I'll give it.
As someone who accidentally damaged their eardrum at a young, that's why I can't hear out of my left ear that much. Yeah, it's kind of like, oh god.
I'm deaf in my right ear because my mom jammed a Q-tip in my ear. So yes, that's why I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because it gave me the willies, the ear part. Yeah, it cringed me, and it's hard to do that with me.
It's a solid 4.
It's a solid 4, yeah. Of course, I don't. I do clean my ears with Q-tips still, but like once a month, I take that little ear thingy that has a camera in it, to like scrape all the wax out. And I'm like, damn, my ears are very dirty.
I need to get one of those.
Being of Asian descent, I have like the waxy ear wax, the wet waxy one. So it's like, but those, like, if you get it, be prepared because some people's ears are dirty.
Oh yeah, I'm sure my ears are dirty. All right, let's go on to the next kill because there was a lot of them. This movie did have a good. It wasn't too many kills because I think they were evenly spaced out, but but they were solid kills throughout the entire film. But the next one is Lionel with the axe decapitation. It wouldn't have been a one swing.
No.
Mm-mm.
And this
Nope.
is the one time Carver was not dressed up like John Carver. He was
Yeah.
dressed up like a clown, actually. But
Did he do one swing or did he fling it?
with one swing,
It was one swing.
Yeah, no.
No.
it was just one
Oh.
whoosh.
I mean, the axe wasn't big enough for like one swing to do clean stuff
Exactly.
off. It looked sharp enough,
Sharp enough,
but
but
it wasn't big enough to do
no, it was
Wasn't big
a
enough.
regular
one swing.
it was a regular fireman axe. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no. Mm.
Mm-mm.
And that was a too clean of a even cut,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, if you're gonna swing, even if you're swinging at somebody's neck, you're gonna take somebody's chin
Yep.
too.
Mm-hmm. And and homeboy was wearing
A costume.
a costume, so he had
Costume.
a head on. He had
Yeah.
like one of those like
Mhm.
mascot heads on. So
Yeah.
like
Where do you see his neck at?
Yeah.
exactly, like that very small thing between the head and the shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Again, McDreamy's acting wasn't good enough for that to have been a solid one swing hit. Had his acting been better,
Agreed.
maybe I could have given it to him, but definitely not for what he did. It looked cool.
Awesome.
That was
Yeah.
a cool scene altogether. So I probably will give this a 3.75. Not quite a 4 because again, it's not realistic. But it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give it a 3.
I give it a 3.5. It was cool. It wasn't realistic.
Okay. Next in that scene was the
Final Destination moment.
a real Final Destination moment. Yeah. Poor old grandpa. That's the only name that we have because that's all the little girls in the truck with him were saying was "Grandpa, wake up!" But the bow of the ship that our main characters were hanging out on. So Jessica and Scuba were on there with her dad and stepmom. Grandpa was in the truck that was pulling the trailer that had the ship on it. Well, the bow of that ship went sliding through that back glass window of the truck right through his head.
Yep.
Final Destination
Final
moment.
Destination moment. Grandpa is not an intricate character, so any of it, but so I don't think his death was needed. However, it was a cool death. I won't lie. I did enjoy that one.
I mean, it is kind of remnant of like what can happen when you have stuff in the back of your truck that's not secured down.
Yep.
Right. True.
Yep.
I admit I was giggling when they were calling Grandpa wake up and there was blood spurting on
Yeah.
girls. I admit I was giggling a little bit. That was a cool death though. Definitely.
I would give that one a 5.
Me.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good one.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
to this day, I don't drive behind. I don't drive behind logging trucks.
Nope.
I do not to this day.
How do you know if you're Gen X or millennial? You don't drive behind logging trucks.
To this day, I try not to drive behind 18-wheelers. I try not to be anywhere in their vicinity.
People do not give them space.
Oh, I know. I don't drive behind glass trucks either.
Same.
Yep.
Wasn't it The Omen that the guy's head got cut off by the glass truck?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
That's why.
So the next kill is Kathleen, the stepmother, who, to be perfectly honest, she didn't really have any redeeming qualities.
Yeah, she was the one that said, "Hey, let's open up our Thanksgiving."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She was part of the group that got kidnapped by Carver and taken to the original John Carver's house to be part of the Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep.
Yum, yum, yum. And here we are talking about cannibalism again.
You can't get away.
Yeah, but she did wake up, was able to kind of get loose, but then ended up getting pitchforked and then roasted, toasted in the oven like a big old bird. Lisa, what do you
It would
think?
take a longer time.
Okay. I agree with Karen. It would have taken longer. But I will say to make her look like a turkey, it they did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
I will have to admit that it was very well done, and I think that's probably where they spent most of the effects money. Uh, but
Yeah.
it was when he cut sliced into her leg. I was like,
Oh
oh
yeah.
my God, I am not going to be eating turkey this year. I'll go for ham.
Yeah, but ham is kind of remnant of human flesh.
I mean,
Yeah, since
that
we're
was her
talking about
thigh.
yeah, long
Kind of reminds me of like how that dude cut the guy's thigh in the platform.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
But it was. I think I will give it a 5 because I think it was great. Very well done.
Yeah.
I like the white little things on her toes too, like a turkey.
Oh yeah, the little aluminum foil on the toes.
Yeah, I was laughing.
Okay, so I'm like, he put her in there straight. Then how the heck did she ended up coming out with her legs kind of,
He tied it with butcher's twine, probably.
but he put her in her like with her legs straight, put her in the oven, and her legs are straight. So when he brought her out, it's like, so you already baked her. So you're gonna go ahead and flex her legs out into frog leg?
Maybe to garnish her. Who knows? Because he didn't make her really pretty and elaborate like a turkey.
Yeah. And
That's
and she
true.
couldn't have been in there for too long, considering her dress was
No.
still fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, if you're baking a turkey, it's gonna take a long time. And even if you're baking a human, it's gonna take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think
I don't care how
she
much the
just
temperature is.
looked crispier than what she probably was.
Yeah.
And he was able to
Yeah,
still manipulate her.
Yep.
it kind of reminds me of that scene in Happy Birthday to Me,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
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 where that hovers around the table and whatnots. But that was a good scene. I mean, yeah, she did like kind of bake to death. I mean, like I said, it will probably take longer for her
Mm-hmm.
to bake because there has been instances where people have been like caught in very hot ovens and baked to death.
Yeah.
I remember like that one time and like they were talking. It was like canned tuna. I forget which one it was. The dude got baked to death in that one.
Oh yeah.
What about the little girl just recently at Walmart?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So it's realistic.
Like if you do like a whole pig and like the pit kind of deal, that takes like 36 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I mean, it's realistic because it doesn't. Well, I'm not sure how long it would take.
let's see here. According to Google, to do a pig rotisserie, I'm doing pig because I don't want to actually look at human facts, but pig is the closest thing. To do at 200 to 250 on a rotisserie, 150-pound pig takes 8 to 10 hours to cook thoroughly. So now we know. But yeah, I would give this a 5.
I say a 5 too.
5.
Then we have a 2-part kill. This kill took a little longer than the other ones. It happened earlier in the film. Miss Amy was jumping up and down on a trampoline and got repeatedly stabbed by a spear. Did not die, but was brought back to the Carver house, and then a corkscrew was used to fill up a cup to finish her off. How do we feel about that one, Lisa?
Okay, I cringed a little bit when she was jumping up on the. I was expecting it not to be stabbing her anywhere, but well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit of impalement was expected. So I was a little disappointed we didn't get an impalement. But
I mean, she was impaled.
She was, but
just multiple times and not in specific spots.
Right. And it was okay. But the corkscrew anatomically kind of put it in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
And it definitely wouldn't make the pop noise, but that kind of made it kind of fun.
Made it funny.
Kind of made it fun. So
yeah.
I would give this probably a 3.5 because, the blood's probably not warm anymore, and it would be coagulated by now.
Oh, she was still
Yeah.
alive.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Barely.
But was the
But she was
the
in the freezer.
She was in a fridge.
like in the refrigerator?
Yeah. So her
She
blood would
was
be
in a fridge. So it I think that's what kept her alive, was because it slowed everything down. But she was still alive technically.
Yeah. I was kind of mad at the stepmother for pushing the closing the fridge back on her. Stupid woman. But anyway,
Yeah.
no, I give it about a 4. I mean, a 3.5 to almost 4, maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't like that death as much. It was okay,
Yeah.
but it wasn't.
I would bump it to a 4 just for creativity, because I do think the trampoline was creative, and I do think the corkscrew was creative, but the execution was what was lacking in all of that. If that makes sense.
Yes. Absolutely.
I don't know. I've seen that death scene before. That trampoline death scene before.
Mhm.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, it was a horror movie starring Brad Pitt when he was younger. But so I would hers wasn't that great. I mean,
she was in her cheerleading uniform.
Taking off her underwear, jumping on the trampoline, whatever. And the blood did not look all that great. That little scene, I was like, is that CGI blood?
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah.
What's going on? So I gave that was like my least favorite, and I gave it a 2.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay. Alrighty. And the last verified kill in the entire movie is Mr. Evan, our Mr. Frat Boy.
Who deserved it?
Yep.
Who deserved it.
Definitely.
Was bludgered at the dinner table with a meat tenderizer. How do we feel about that one?
Like I said, he deserved it. I mean, he's like, I need to get a new phone. Let's go ahead and go to your dad's store.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need a phone right now? So I could go texting during the movie. No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
We could just keep on going.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you need to text somebody, use your girlfriend's phone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. He was the
know,
whole reason for this movie.
Yep.
Yes. It's like, oh, this is gold. This is gonna go viral.
You know, being extremely immature about everything. Granted, I get it. He was a junior in high school. Still, 16, 17 years old, you know how to act properly.
I mean, he was
Simple as
still,
that.
immature when they had to cancel the football game.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna play by myself. Bruh.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
I was laughing.
Exactly. But anyways, he also sat there and taunted everybody being inside the store.
Yeah.
Like, just check out quietly, get the hell out. Like, you're making it so you're gonna miss the movie that you're wanting to get your phone to text through. Like, come on, dude. And I'm also gonna say this: there is no way that he was able to get his phone up and going, because they showed it and it looked like it was an iPhone. There was no way he got it up and going in time after he checked out to film all of that.
Because you have to transfer all your stuff to it.
You have your whole setup. Your whole setup thing you have to do at the beginning. Stuff that you cannot skip. It takes a good hot minute to go through all of that. You would not have done all of that while
at least takes about 10 to 30 minutes depending on how your old iPhone was set up.
Yeah.
And if you're transferring everything over,
even if you're not transferring, even if you're not downloading from the cloud, like everything else that you have to set up. You have to set up your fingerprints. You have to set up your facial recognition. You have to set up a million things. Like, hell, picking out what language sometimes can take a hot minute because you have to scroll so far.
Yeah.
There is no way homeboy, especially with how impatient he is, went through all of that easy peasy and then loaded it up.
Right.
So he could start videoing.
Exactly.
No.
But his death should have been worse, though.
It should have been far, far worse. It should have been. Honestly, I think he should have been one roasted in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah. I mean, you're the one that instigated everything because you're the one that wanted to go to the store, and then you're sitting there taunting the dude outside.
He should have had the most torture.
Yeah.
That, or you actually picked the actual father because he was actually the worst. Crap, what is his name?
Or you should have been the first one to go. So.
Yeah,
exactly.
and he's played by an actor who's fantastic at playing bad guys.
Oh, especially in the show Suits.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one scene where he's talking to that dude and the cat drops off. She was like, he just stops and is like, and he does that. I was like, oh no, Thomas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
in a way, he should have also gotten it because he
He was
let
played by Rick Hoffman.
Yeah. I remember one of them. Great actor. But like he let his stepwife, his new wife, talked him into, opening up the store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh, this is your store. Okay? You
Mm-hmm.
don't let your lady talk you into doing anything. Okay? You know how much Thanksgiving means to people. Let them have the Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're just a gold digger. Like your wife's just a gold digger at this point.
Mm-hmm. His character should have gotten the works because he's what I think Evan would turn into.
Right. Right.
If no one told him no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his daughter tried.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter tried. I have to say, his daughter tried.
Yes, she
Yes, she did.
And he was trying to come to that understanding. He really was. Because she was like, for Pete's sake, can it just be the two of us?
Yeah.
Right.
And then when everything was happening, he kind of saw it from her point of view, like, okay,
Yeah.
what I did was bad because what I did was bad.
Yeah.
People should be with their family, and what's nuts.
And he was starting to see how Kathleen was corrupting the family and corrupting what was going on. However, even at the dinner table, he was still unredeemable in my eyes.
Yeah, he
Like,
was.
he's a garbage human being. It was very much oh man, he would have gotten it. Then the final death, and I'm using air quotes because he may or may not be dead, is Eric, Mr. McDreamy, the carver. The final girl sends the final blow and with a musket shoots off a shot that ignites a propane tank and causes the building to catch fire. And he's like right there next to it. So they say he's dead by being incinerated. For a death, I say that's good, like a cool death. However, I don't think he's dead. But let's talk about about the death before we get into the is he or isn't he? Okay. If he did die,
okay,
how would we rate the death?
In the
Lisa?
Explosion.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely give it a 4.5 because it was kind of an epic explosion and just whoosh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give it 4.5. It was kind of an exciting death.
Okay.
Especially the fact that she could shoot that musket.
Oh yeah.
And she used mom's bracelet. That was
smart.
Pretty good.
It was smart. I mean, it's an exploding death. It's like an action death.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a 3.
3. I would give it a 3.75. I thought it was for this movie, for that scene, I think it was cool. I think they did a good job, giving the final girl her way of saving herself. But prior to starting the recording, the question came up of, do we think he's dead? All of us said no. So with that unanimous, no, he's alive.
I think he pulled like a My Bloody Sunday, My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah, I think he did too. I think when she saw the one fireman with the gas mask and the axe walking out, I'm with her. That's him.
That's him.
That's him.
Because it takes like almost 2,000 degrees just to incinerate a body.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't think it reached 2,000 degrees in that thing.
Yep. And you have to think, he is a first responder. He was the police chief.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows protocol. He knows what they have to do. He knows where they have to look. He knows what to say to be like, yeah, there's an all clear. He knows the behind the scenes stuff. And then on top of all of that, I'm not saying he's not burnt up. I think he is, because you can't be that close to a tank exploding and not, not
get some burns.
get a little singed. But yeah, I think he knocked somebody out and stole their suit.
I mean, the way that he turned, though, it would have been more of his back burning than his front.
Mhm.
Because when he saw it, he like turned and then jumped real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They should make like some sort of like, Bloody Christmas with him coming back, or some sort of Bloody Valentine or something.
Right. Or
Make a whole
even
holiday trilogy.
or even maybe like a Bloody Black Friday or something like that.
Give him some acting right.
Because Thanksgiving is his trigger point. So
right.
And would he go after just our final girl, or would he go after Scuba and Bobby and possibly even Ryan?
Maybe the dad.
Dad,
Mm-hmm.
because the dad was able to get away, and then wasn't the other friend able to get away too?
Gabby?
Gabby?
Yeah, she got away.
So, there's a few people who were able to.
I mean, you can make it into most like I know what you did last Thanksgiving type of thing. I know what you did. I'm coming back after you.
I think I don't know if it's real or not, but I think I saw a thing for I Know What You Did 10 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever. I was like,
but this time, instead of like making it the sheriff, you make it into Mitch. It's like, oh,
right.
Like he tried to kill you because you all started this. Let me try to finish what he started.
Yeah.
Or, the two of them canoodle, and it's a tag team effort now.
Yeah. Double prizes.
That'd be the third installment. That'd be a third installment.
Hey, Eli, just give us a call.
Yep.
Give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you with this. All right. So with all that being said, let's go ahead. Let's pop it into our final thoughts and ratings for this film. Lisa, why don't you go first?
I thought it was a fun film. There was some acting that could have been much better, but you know what? I really liked the pace. I really liked most of the deaths. I give it a 4.5.
That's fair. Karen, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with that. I give it a 4.5 because the pacing was really well. The kills, was spread out. It wasn't like boom, 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 boom. It was actually spread out. The special effects, you had some good ones and you had some that missed. McDreamy's acting could have been better.
Much better.
But I get a 4.5 because it was that is on my Thanksgiving horror list. For Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I guess I would give it a 4.25. I don't feel like it really deserves a 0.5. Like some of those special effects where I'm like, y'all, you can do a big explosion like that. How can you not be a little bit better and on point with this kind of special effect or that kind of special effect?
Bone breaking.
Yeah.
The acting, especially from McDreamy, my dude, for realsies, come on. Like, I expected way better. But I will say this movie has a plot. Even if you take out all the graphic kills and things like that, it's still a watchable movie because there's still a plot that you can follow along with. There's intermixing of different things. If you take out a lot of the horror elements and you make it more like a true crime, there's plenty of stories still there. Is it an amazing film? No, but it's a really good film, and it's fun to watch. Like I said, for like a lot of these kills that we talked about, for the most part, these kills were pretty good. I think they were averaging around like 3-4 skulls. It's not to love, So I would give this a 4.25 overall.
I will add one more thing, if you mind. As far as McDreamy's acting, I think the thing I noticed because we watch horror movies and everything, I think he wasn't having that much fun. Like a lot of the other actors that do this professionally all the time seemed to have a good time with it. I think that's
Okay.
probably why his acting was subpar because he didn't look like
Okay.
he was having very much fun with it.
That
That would make sense.
that's a fair point. That's a fair representation. But audience, our beautiful, lovely little ghouls, what did you think about this? Is this going to be a staple at your Thanksgiving table? And which kill is your favorite? I would love to hear. So tell us on our social media. You can follow us on all the different things. We got Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads. Our Facebook group is always a lot of fun. You can also subscribe and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts, such as Apple, Google, Spotify, and our YouTube, which please go comment. We would love to chit chat with you guys there. And you can share those links on all your social media as well. But ladies, where can they find you, Lisa?
You can find me on the Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and soon YouTube.
Rock on, rock on. Karen?
Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, TikTok, and Reddit.
And I am Shannon. You can find me on all the things at Spilled Tea Wine Medium Mind. But before we go, like always, we want to thank you, our lovely little ghouls, for listening to us and sharing our podcast with everybody. We really do appreciate your support. It really does actually mean the world for us. And this Thanksgiving, we are actually very thankful for y'all. So with that being said, stay spooky, our lovely little ghouls.
And this has been the Spooky and Kooky podcast of Earth Station Boo.